Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Robot Dreams, directed by Pablo Berger. So this is a fantastic animation set in New York, populated by animals. There's no humans in this film. It's 1980s New York and it's really wonderful in terms of the subway, the punk culture, the street food. There's something really of 1970s New York. It's fantastic. There's no dialogue in this film, and there is that phenomenon of kind of little noises really matter and make a difference. And there's a real close attention to the fine detail of the sound design. So although the animation is very simple and straightforward, you really see a lot more because the sound is so subtle and nuanced and really adds to the experience. This is a film about a dog that orders a robot by mail order, builds it, and the robot becomes his companion. It's not really clear. It is kind of a romance, but it's a friend. I mean, they do hold hands, but obviously there's a real innocence to this film, so there's no question of sex or kissing, but they do hold hands. I kind of like that ambiguity. It is really appropriate for children, although the film really has adult themes. And as soon as he builds the robot, you really feel that the robot has personality. This isn't just an artificial intelligence that kind of has to learn how to be human or how to live in that world. I mean, after all, it's a crazy world populated by animals and you just see him as living as anything else in New York at that time. There are so many layers to this film. The story just is full of metaphors, and I must say that coming out of it, I came out of it about half an hour ago, and I just constantly thinking about it. It's deep. At one level, it's really simple and fun, but it's deep. There's a lot here about time, and I was thinking of the film Ghost Story, of how that one of the two lovers has to kind of wait in a kind of infinite time loop, and there's something of that here because the robot gets trapped on the beach for a long time and goes through a lot of experiences, and so yeah, it just reminds me of that. There's so many small details in this film. It's the really small details that make it. Too many to mention, but just a random example of one thing that I loved was that when the robot was kind of rebuilt, his leg was a bit odd and a bit straight, and it's like he had a limp. He was disabled, and it's really beautiful because a lot of this film is about imperfection. It's about life going wrong, but still living and finding joy. Really, really fun and interesting. The main theme, I would say, is about finding friendship, finding love, and then losing it, and then looking back on it. And should you go back to it, or should you not? Should you pine after what you've lost, or should you go forward with what you've gained in the meantime? One possible interpretation of this film is that it is a critique of capitalism in the sense of money being able to buy by mail order a companion, a partner. And I think that this definitely is part of the theme of the film, but actually I don't think that's the primary purpose of this film. It's much more innocent than that. It's much more beautiful and poetic about friendship and companionship. I think the fact that this robot is an artificial intelligence isn't the most important thing. If I was going to criticise this film, there's a couple of points I'd make. Firstly, in terms of the kind of resolution of it, I was actually sitting in the front row in the cinema, and I noticed that there were these kind of lines on the screen And the style of this animation is that kind of Tintin style, lean, clear lines, which is, very simple style with very clean, clear lines and color blocked. But in this case, it was almost like it looked almost a bit like cross-hatching or something like that, but it wasn't. Perhaps that this was based on a comic, or a graphic novel. Perhaps that was the style of the novel, and it's true to that. I haven't actually seen it, but personally, I found that distracting. I love the simplicity of the animation, and I wanted it to be color blocked. The other criticism that I would make, perhaps, is that it's too long. And I think the interesting thing here is the film's called Robot Dreams, and obviously the title suggests that it's about the robot dreams, but actually I think that the robot dreams could be taken out. So I think that probably would reduce it from around an hour and a half to an hour, and I think that would make all the difference. I think it would be perfect then. The dreams are fun, and they're creative, and they're innovative, and obviously there's a nod to the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I kind of enjoyed all of that, but actually for me the dreams kind of were the least important part of the film. In conclusion though, I really loved this film. It's left me with a lot to think about. I think it's really excellent, and it's highly recommended. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.